I'm Ian Rush and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome. If you join us on YouTube, it's the Uncensored Match Build Up show ahead of Liverpool facing off against Norwich City at Anfield on Wednesday night. Weird Wednesday night fixtures, Chris. Playing havoc with the schedule. Well,
and my marriage.
yeah, most definitely. I have with me Chris Pajak and John Machin to look ahead to this game. Dad, we talked at length about Hull City and then the programme crashed. So whether there's been a final word show, I'm not quite so sure. But we did talk about it. It was a cathartic experience. The beauty of having a Wednesday game, to some extent, is that we don't have to wait long for the opportunity to bounce back.
Yeah, thank God.
Is that the one major positive? Because normally midweek fixtures are just horrible, aren't they? But in this instance,
midweek fixtures in December when it's cold, yeah, they're horrible. But as you say, it's nice to just get back on the horse and sort of hopefully, give Norwich a good thrashing, and we'll all be really happy going into the West Ham game.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Let's not over egg this pudding after the disaster that was last week. Gonna bounce and twat all, aren't we? Because you said before, normally after that game we don't have like an international break to suffer through, whereas at least we've only got a couple of days, bury your head in the sand and then pull it out, get down to Anfield and I'm
going to completely ignore everything that I said on the final word show. I would make 4 changes, possibly 5 to the side that got beat all. Just spent 50 minutes shouting at Paul, you shouldn't make 4 changes, and I'd definitely make 4 changes, sweeping changes. Get out of that left centre-back position, get Danny Agger or Sacco back in. Sterling, boot him off to the stands or the Bruch, whatever it is, the clinic, anywhere he needs to go, get some condoms, anything. Get Jordan Ibe in the side. Make some serious changes.
Wow.
Aspas on top, maybe.
Okay, well, that's been the Uncensored Match Build Up show. Thanks very much for that. Dad, the form table doesn't look particularly promising at the minute. We're sat 10th in the Premier League form table. Now, based on our home form, we're 4th, so things are looking good, which bodes well for this fixture, of course. But, I mean, the form table doesn't look particular, but we have played, of our last 6 games, 4 of them have been away from home, so it's nice to get back to Anfield. We've got a couple of back-to-back home games as well. Yeah,
what we need to do is steady the ship, score a few goals, get points in the bag, sort of try and consolidate our position in the top 4, possibly even the top 2, heading into the Christmas games, and try and get through the year in a position where we can make a good challenge.
Yeah,
I think we've got an easier second half of the season because we've played all the tough games.
And they're all at home, the big
away,
games,
apart from United. I think we've played everyone else away, so we should, if we can keep our home form going, have a really good second half of the season. So it's really about just hanging on in there now. I think
got to take as many points from what's available in front of us, definitely. Okay, trivia question time. Which World Cup winning player took to the field 40 times against Liverpool, finding the net on 14 occasions, including 4 goals for Norwich? That question again, which World Cup winning player took to the field 40 times against Liverpool, finding the net on 14 occasions, including 4 goals for Norwich? And because we're playing West Ham the weekend as well, scored 4 goals for them as well. We'll have the answer to the trivia question right at the end of the show, so stay tuned all the way to the end for that. Norwich City, Chris, Luis Suarez's favourite team. Let's hope that continues.
Yeah, he scored a couple of hat-tricks against them, hasn't he, now? Definitely, he's got to perform better than he did at the weekend, hasn't he?
As you said the other day, earlier today, I should say, he was terrible against Hull, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. And Norwich are shipping goals away at the moment, aren't they? 16 they conceded and only scored 3 away from home this season.
That's right.
Lost 5.
They don't score many goals.
Yeah.
So you would hope that it's another opportunity for us to build the goal difference up. But again, without Sturridge, it's going to depend on what formation he plays, what person he gets on the pitch.
I'd be happy with a 1-0, 2-0 win, as you say. Consolidate, get 3 points first and foremost.
I know it's a team, though, potentially, and again, look, I've just become really, really aware of being careful with what we say. Someone points out to me that whenever we say, "Oh yeah, we're definitely going to win this game," we always lose these ones. For me, I think Norwich are in some respects a good team for us to play at this time. West Ham, I think, I'm not massively confident about West Ham because I don't like Sam Allardyce, and you just don't know what side's going to turn up. I just don't like him in general. Like, and he looks like a hippopotamus as well. Whereas I think, Norwich fans. I had Jack Reed from Talk Norwich City on a live Google Hangout. We were discussing this game in a bit more detail, getting the Norwich City perspective on it. Their fans expect to see good football, and because Hughton hasn't been able to play that recently, so that he will be under pressure to get a result.
I think they're a good solid side though, Norwich. I mean, they're not spectacular and they haven't been doing all that well, but I think they play football, and I think they just lack that little bit of spark. I think they bought Elmander, I think, in the hope that they might score goals for them. They haven't done that. So they're a bit light up front, but they do sort of
without Grant Holt. Anyone to be light without him.
The thing is, their midfielders are like the two top scorers, aren't they? They've all got 2 goals apiece and a couple of assists each and stuff like that. And I think the other thing is, when you look at Norwich and who they've played away from home, everyone remembers the 7-0 was at City. Like, that's half of their goal difference right there away from home, almost done in one fixture. So actually, you're looking at 9 goals in probably 5 games. It's nowhere near as bad as 16 and 6 for a start. But they've also played, was it Man United or Chelsea away from home? So they've played big teams away from home. So Norwich fans would probably expect to lose those games anyway. They've probably not been about away as the stats would suggest.
They have a lot of close games, games which are 0-0 until quite late in the day, they're probably going to be quite difficult to break down.
And they're on the back of a win against Palace, aren't they? Which isn't necessarily a great barometer for things, given the Hull got beat by Palace the week before.
I think Rodgers took after Crystal Palace's way of beating Hull and played with 10 men. Hence Johnson not fucking turning up.
Question though, Daniel Sturridge.
What about Moses and Sturridge? That maybe we were playing with 7.
Yeah, well, he thought if they can beat 1-0 with 10, we're going to win 7-0 with 6 players. Sound?
Yeah. Why not? Bonkers logic. Okay, obviously no Sturridge out for up to 8 weeks, which is a real blow, Dad. For you, what's the best way to get the best out of Luis Suarez in Sturridge's absence?
Well, I keep going on about not making changes for the sake of making changes, so I personally would just try Aspas as a straight replacement for Sturridge and see if we just play the same system and see if that works. I mean, even if Aspas doesn't play that well, if the system works and Suarez gets to play in his rightful position, then we surely should still get through the game.
Could be a good game. Could be a good idea. I mean, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen Aspas and
when
Suarez
he played in pre-season, he played up top, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he looked better in pre-season. When the season started, he played in this number 10 role or out wide. Yeah. He's clearly not one of those type of players. I totally agree with your dad there. I think that if you put Aspas up top, he at least will make the centre-backs think about going to Luis Suarez. That's what Sturridge does. That's why Suarez gets so much space on the ball, because he stretches the defence.
I think
just putting someone
and
there.
He's a lad who has got pace. That's pass.
He's got a little bit of pace, hasn't he? He's not electric, but he's got
pace.
some
He
pace.
can move around. He's not.
I think
makes intelligent
the other thing will be whether Coutinho plays.
Coutinho will play,
and if he plays, then I don't see why Aspas wouldn't be a good bet.
Yeah, I think with Aspas, it'd be good for him to play with Coutinho and Suarez, because when you've got Sturridge, Suarez and Coutinho, there's 3 players that the opposition have got to watch out for. But it actually might work in Aspas's favour, because obviously everyone's going to be focused on Suarez, and Coutinho might give him a little bit more room to operate.
He makes good runs along the line, Aspas, if he's played in the right position. And Coutinho will find him. If he makes a run, Coutinho will get the ball to him.
Well, he's good. The thing is, I think he's exceptional at moving into channels and and he can drop it deep. He just can't start from those positions, which is unfortunately where we've seen him too much at the start of the season. Whereas, again in pre-season, as you said, I think he looked like the ideal Rodgers number 9. You start him middle, pushed up top, but if you want him to come deep and pick up the ball and find it, yeah, exactly. And if you want him to go and beyond, he can do that as well. We just haven't seen enough of it. And I mean, look, he's got to pick up his game. He's got to start offering something, because we're going to really struggle, I think, in this period if the likes of him. And let's face it, I don't think we can put too much pressure on like Luis Alberto, because he's still young and what have you. But Aspas should be a senior player. I know £7 million not not phenomenal money, but
fuck all for a striker.
But it's not nothing, is it? It's not an inconsequential amount of money, and he's not like he's lacked goals in his career so far. So I think he's got to. This is a game for me. If he's going to start and he's going to play, he's got to.
If he doesn't start him, then he could still play Moses or Sterling up top as well, and keep the same system. And I think keeping the system is what's going to be important. I don't want him playing Suarez up on his own, and again trying to play wide men, or trying to just switch the system around, which seems to confuse everyone. So let's just stick with what we've been good at.
No, completely, fully agree on that. Little danger man focus. Leroy Fair has played 12 games, scored twice, got 1 assist, pass accuracy of 85%. Boom. There you go, top in-depth statage there. Right, okay, we're going to have a little... actually, no, we were going to have a little musical listening, but let's hold off on that. Let's hold off on that and have more Liverpool-based football chat. Chris, you kicked off about the centre-halves against Hull. Who plays at the back for you, and is it time that we cemented a centre-back partnership?
Sometimes our centre-backs look like they're stood in cement anyway. So that's a worry. No, but on a serious note, I think Agger and Skertel have to play at the back. They've been fine the last 2 home games. Yeah, we've conceded 1 in each of them, do you know what I mean? But that's it. We've scored 4 in both of them, haven't we, or something? So I think Agger and Skertel have got to play together.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. And I think your dad made a good point on the final word, shows that Sakho's might be a good shout for left back. Something like that, I don't know. Or we talked about not making loads of changes, but from Hull we need to make a few changes, I think.
I mean, our problem still has been our problem all season is conceding goals. And although it's mainly away we have problems, I do believe you've got to have a settled back four as far as you possibly can.
Yeah.
So the sooner you decide who's your best four and just leave them there and get on with it, the better. And somehow I don't think that Flanagan is a long-term solution at left back. So, you can either replace him with Sakho, or you can switch him with Johnson, so he's on the right and Johnson's on the left.
That makes more sense to me, just because, Glenn Johnson's still our best left back anyway.
Yeah.
And if Flanagan's a full back, and if he's trusted enough to play him left back, surely you can trust him to play him right back. Seems fairly logical to me anyway. I think from the centre back perspective, I think we've got to get Sakho back in the team, and we've seen every other combination of partnership. We haven't seen Sakho and Agger, and I know people seem to go into fits.
Lefties.
Yeah, but why not?
Oh, no lefties. No, not two of them. No, at the back. And I'm a lefty.
It's a fake lefty.
As I said on the whole show, I think it's Toure or Skertel to play right side, and it's Agger or Sakho to play left side, and you make your decision, and stick with it, and have the other two as your backups. And he's been brave enough to drop Skertel last season, and he's been brave enough to drop Agger this season. So we should really be able to say, right, these are my top two.
Maybe it's just that nobody's nailed those positions down for him. Maybe, because we see them in games, we can say someone's just done a fine job, but maybe just no one's backing up a great, weekend performance followed up by a great training performance. It seems mad to me, because again, we've just paid £15 million for Sakho. He should be first aid on the team.
I think.
Well, but the thing is that there's an argument that Agger's probably our best centre-back anyway. But I'm like Chris, I don't want to play 2 left-footed centre-backs.
We've just played 2 right-footed.
Exactly, and it was bloody awful.
Sammy Hippier and Jamie Carragher, both right-footed. Sammy Hippier and Stefan Ancho, both right-footed. Mark Lawrence, right-footed.
Two righties is fine.
Of course it is.
Yeah, 2 righties is fine, except when it's Sakho.
Yeah, you know what you are.
Skertel's playing left centre back.
Your foot-hand racist is what you are. Like, I'm not having it.
Toure playing left side the other day than Skertel. Skertel is hopeless at left side.
Just racists, just hand racists. That's all you are. Disgraceful. Lefties of the world unite. If you're a lefty, let me know in the comment section underneath. What do you think? Actually, I'm interested to know people's
point with your right
thoughts
hand
on this. What's my pointing hand?
It's handy.
This is my gesticulating hand. Let us know. should Liverpool be cementing a centre-back partnership? And if they do, who will it be? I can guarantee that 99% of those answers will be Daniel Agger plus another.
I think Daniel Agger is probably our worst defender, although I think he's one of our better centre-backs, if you know what I mean. I think actually defending, he's shit. He's shit at actually defending. Skrtel's our best defender, or Toure, but they don't offer enough when they've got the ball, because they're like a deer in headlights when they've got the ball at the feet. So it's so weird. Sacco, for me, has just been a little bit off pace, and that's just because he's getting used to English football in the Premier League.
But it's odd he had such a good international break with France.
I like the way he uses the ball. When he gets the ball, he always looks for someone to pass to. You know, and inevitably he gets it there. You know, it's not he's not hoofing the ball anywhere. You know.
No. We've got options there, and I clearly, you know, and I think it's about time. Though I think you're right. You know, you need a settled back four as much as possible. All the great title-winning sides have as settled the back four as possible, and there'll be exceptions. But look at Man City when they've got Vincent Kompany in, they're a much better side than when they haven't got him in. You know, simple as. I just don't know our best. I don't know our best centre back.
Man United have won the league the last few years. Vidic and Ferdinand have been at the back. Last season, they were almost settled all season.
Well, it's noticeable Arsenal have done better this season with a much more settled defence. Last season they were all over the place, weren't they?
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, then again, let me know your thoughts on the centre-back pair and how you think Liverpool will line up in general. We're going to have a little musical interlude. When we come back, we're going to have the trivia and some score predictions, so stay tuned for that. But first, as I say, we have got some music from Doodah Farm.
We're Doodah Farm, and this is a song called Walk the Moon.
outstanding as always. As I say, if you want to feature your act, whether you're in a band or whether you're a solo musician or you're a gangster rapper, email production@the Redmen TV.
What about if they're a professional regurgitator?
It's not really music, is it?
But it's an act.
That's a good point, actually, well made. Don't email me. Okay, I'm sure you're desperate to know what the trivia answer is. The question was, which World Cup winning player has played over 40 times against Liverpool, found the net on 14 occasions, including 4 goals for Norwich and 4 for West Ham? The answer, Dad?
No idea.
Martin Peters.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No idea. Means something more to you, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you didn't get that.
I'm a bit surprised I didn't think that far back. I was thinking more of the Paul Mariner era. It might have been someone which were quite good.
Yeah.
Norwich and the East Anglians were actually both decent sides.
Reasonable footballing power, like, yeah. Okay, score.
What year was he from?
Well, he would have won the World Cup in '66.
I didn't even know he was English, in fairness. Apart from his name being Peters.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Which
Scored in
England?
the World Cup final, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Fair play. Sorry, I wasn't born in '66. Seen the last goal loads of times.
I thought it was all over. Score predictions, please, Dad.
2-0.
Okay, Chris.
1-0.
Oh, okay then. 3-0. Have that. Let me know your score predictions in the comments section on these. We're going to be back later in the week after this game with the Red News Roundup show and the Friday football show on the redmentv.com. There's an audio file for the final word show after Hull, but no video.
It's decided already, I see.
We'll see.
We're trying on a podcast, people.
No, we're not. We're really not. So it's like 70 Liverpool podcasts now. You see, they're all fantastic, but let's not. We won't be diluting that pond again anytime soon. Yeah, check it out.
Our balls in this week and this week only.
No, there will be some form of final word show. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. As I say, do check out the shows on the redmentv.com, which are free for the month. We've got loads of festive goodness lined up as well, so be there for that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, gents. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks very much for your line of predictions, centre back thoughts, your score predictions, yada yada yada. And good night. Ta-ra.